Hello, Sanbonani, Dumelang Molweni. Welcome to #Asathi Reviews. My name is Asathi Nzelu, and in this video, I'll be doing a film review of the movie King Richard. I will not be mentioning the executive producers in this video because there are too many, so you'll find them in the description down below or on any of my social medias. The director is Reynaldo Marcus Green. The writer is Zach Palin. The cinematographer is Robert Ellsworth. The main characters are Will Smith as Richard Williams, Sania Sidney as Venus Williams, Demi Singleton as Serena Williams, and Ojanu Ellis as the mother. I have decided to title the movie The Tennis Lords. King Richard is a film about a beautiful, warm black family that bore the tennis world champions, Venus and Serena Williams. It focuses on the instrumental efforts made by their father, Richard Williams, in them becoming the tennis legends that they are today. Richard has extensively trained his two daughters, Venus and Serena, from a very young age to be the best at tennis. He even wrote a life plan detailing their life path and both the things they should have achieved and achieved to stay away from at a certain age, such as the guns of American police and the ills of the streets. He does this consistently, even when he is discouraged by negative neighbors interfering in his household matters, to the point of accusing him of child abuse and reporting him to child services. Richard is frequently bullied by local thugs, and that reminds him of his tough childhood, how his father never looked out for him, and how he was never respected in the community. He then vows to ensure that his daughters will be respected in society. When he gets attacked again by his bullies, he decides to avenge himself, but someone beats him to it by gunning down the man that was bullying him. Richard gets rejected many times by many heavyweights as he tries to get people that will coach both his daughters for free. He finally strikes gold when he turns up the notch and shoves his daughters down the throat of a coach that he admires. The coach, not having a choice, decides to at least coach Venus, leaving Serena heartbroken. The mother also then decides to step up and coach Serena personally. The coach Richard has secured for Venus turns out to be very condescending and undermining towards Richard, even more when he realizes that Richard is very opinionated about everything and constantly questions his techniques. The tennis court in which Venus is being trained becomes then a battleground for their egos. They decide to enroll Venus into local junior games, and she consistently does excellently well, even on the games where the opponent cheats. In the wave of all these wins, Richard continuously enforces lessons of thorough blending and humility to his daughters. Whilst everyone else is focused on Venus, Serena also decides to take charge and enrolls herself into a match, and they both win. In one of the matches, an agent approaches Richard, wanting to take Venus under his wing, but Richard, sensing sinister motives, farts as a way of rejecting the offer. He also terminates his relationship with the coach, who was very displeased by the bad behavior and the rejection of the good offer. Richard reaches out to another coach, and upon reaching an agreement, he makes a very bold demand that the coach should cater to them all and not just Venus, which means they all move to Florida. When they get to Florida, they are welcomed by a paradise of tennis courts and food. Richard becomes very controversial as he chooses to take an unconventional route for Venus, which the coach neither likes nor approves of, but Richard does everything to protect Venus from the pressure and abuse of the media. He justifies his unconventional decision by saying that he does not want his daughter to be a victim to the ills of child stardom. Eventually, the mother convinces Richard to allow Venus to play, and upon hearing that Venus will finally compete, coaches and agents flood her with offers, wanting to scoop her first before she even plays. They even use underhanded tactics to pressurize Venus into signing with them. The games do not go well at first, but Venus rises above and conquers, leading to sponsors offering her more. At the finals, she gets to play with a peer that is a world champion. During the game, the world champion soon realizes that Venus is giving her a hard time and she decides to use a dirty old trick, and from then on, the game goes south for Venus. Even though she lost the game, she still gets a $12 million offer from Reebok, which is 4 times more than the initial offers. Venus goes on to be a world champion with 5 Wimbledon wins at age 41 and is ranked number 1 in the world. On the other hand, her sister Serena Williams is also shaking tables with 23 Grand Slams and is dubbed as the best in the history of tennis. I feel as though that the role of the mother in the lives of Venus and Serena has been quite understated in this movie. However, I recommend this movie to everyone, children, adults, and parents alike, as it not only encourages them to dream and have faith in their dreams, but it also enforces lessons of humility, hard work, and proper planning. As Richard would say, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Thank you so much for watching this film review. My name is Asathi, and please do like, subscribe, and comment down below under the hashtag Asathi Reviews.